Welcome to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, brought to you by Pilma. This podcast helps lead lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Here is your legal marketing expert and host, Ken Hardison.
Hey, Grow Your Law Firm listeners. This is Gracie House with Pilma. If you're serious about growing your law firm this year, you need to be at Pilma's 2026 Summit. This is 3.5 days of deep dive content on marketing, management, and AI built specifically for personal injury law firms. We're talking our biggest agenda ever with dedicated tracks for law firm owners, COOs, intake teams, marketing, and AI implementation. So whether you're scaling your firm or leveling up your team, there's something here for you. And because you're a Grow Your Law Firm listener, we've got a special offer. Use code 26SSGROW at checkout to get 10% off your registration, specifically for Grow Your Law Firm listeners. You can grab the link and code right below in the show notes. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Grab your ticket and we'll see you at the summit.
Hey, it's Jenna, Membership Growth Advisor with Pilma. If you're serious about growing your law firm this year, don't miss your chance to book a free law firm growth strategy session with me. We'll break down what's holding you back, identify the biggest opportunities in your firm, and map out the next steps to accelerate your growth. No pressure, just real strategy and direction tailored to you. Click the link in the show notes to schedule your free session.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Ken Hardison, and welcome to another episode of Grow Your Law Firm. And today we have the honor and pleasure of having Ms. Laura Moore, founder and CEO of Moore Injury Funding, a boutique nationwide legal funding company known for combining medical insight with litigation strategy awareness to support plaintiffs' attorneys and their clients. She's built her company around relationship-driven service and kind of helps her clients and her injured clients, or your injured clients, maintain financial stability, and then it can maximize case values and outcomes. And she's also got her own podcast. It's Time for More Injury Funding Podcast, where she highlights leaders and innovators across the personal injury ecosystem. So, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ken, on your show. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah. So, you're not going to believe this because we didn't talk about it before we started, but I started practicing law in 1982. In 1984, in North Carolina, you could not loan clients money. My brother had a pawn shop, and I taught him into loaning clients money so they wouldn't just take the first thing that was offered, so we could hold out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't charge. He charged whatever was legal back then. I think like a credit card, like 24% or something, and plus a 10% fee up front. Mm-hmm. And he made good money at it. And of course, I didn't send him anybody that I didn't think I could get the money for, because I had to go eat Thanksgiving, and the Christmas with him. So I was doing this back in 84, 85. So 40 years ago. So they ended up.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they ended up outlawing it in North Carolina back in between 2005, 2010. I can't remember, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember it was company was legal. But I'm just saying that to me it was a good marketing ploy, because nobody else in town could let them be able to pay their bills if they're out of work and stuff until we could get the case settled. And some states like California, I think you can actually loan your clients money, but you can't in North Carolina. So anyway.
Unfortunately.
The lawyers that are not familiar with this, what is legal funding and how has it evolved over the years? Because I'm telling you about 40 years ago, but why does it what's today look like?
Mm-hmm. So legal funding is non-recourse financial support for injured plaintiffs during litigation, meaning repayment only occurs if the case resolves successfully. What's evolved is the sophistication, better writing, closer collaboration with law firms, and a growing recognition that funding is really about preserving case value, not just providing cash. In other words, legal funding is non-recourse financial support that stabilizes plaintiffs during litigation so attorneys can protect timeline and case value. It's not a loan, which is a mistake that law firms often make, law firm owners and staff make. I want to make that distinction very clear.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I hear from the lawyers. I do masterminds and I have roundtables, and when I start talking about funding, they all hate it because they say that the client gets the money and then gets it ahead of time, and then when they get ready to sell it, they're not going to net out that much, so they don't want to settle because they're not going to get any money because it's all been paid to the funding company. What do you say about that? What's your view on that?
That's a very good question, Ken. The biggest misconception is that funding interferes with case control or pressure settlement. Reputable funding companies do neither. Attorneys remain fully in control. Another misconception is that all funding companies operate the same, when in reality, service quality, communication, and underwriting philosophy vary widely across the board. Just to summarize my point for your podcast listeners and viewers, Ken, biggest misconception is that funding drives settlement. Reputable companies never influence case strategy. We personally always check with attorneys on every single funding part for every single client, every single time. We never ever approve a client without consulting with law firm because we want to protect your case.
Yeah. So what should a lawyer look for when he's selecting a funding company?
What attorney should look for when signing up with the funding company? Well, we really view ourselves at Moore Funding as part of the litigation ecosystem. Funding can stabilize clients so they attend appointments, follow treatment plans, and remain engaged in litigation. That is very important. That consistency supports case development, reduces friction, and allows attorneys to focus on strategy rather than crisis management. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. We talk about this in masterminds. The case can go on for 5 years. And is there a cap? I know some funding companies that once it reaches double what we've loaned you, we're not going to charge you anymore.
We are really on the conservative side. We charge 5% monthly compounding rate, and it caps at 2 years. And there's, of course, non-recourse funding. We offer reductions at the end. Hopefully, attorneys don't abuse it, but we believe in communication very heavily. So if something goes south, just let us know, and we will 100% work with you. 2x means that if case goes on for 2 years or longer, the maximum client would have to pay back from their settlement would be the double that they took. And back to your previous point, what attorneys should look for when selecting a good funding partner is, we try to make funding feel like a supportive extension of the firm. Transparency, responsive communication, reasonable pricing, and collaborative mindset with the law firm. These are the main factors that law firms should be looking for. Attorneys should also look for underwriting discipline and partner who understands medical treatment progression, not just numbers on a page.
So do you just loan money to clients who are getting ready to go into litigation, or do you also do it if they need money like for surgery or something?
Very good question. Yes, we offer 5 types of services. So that would be cash advances to help them out with whatever they need during the litigation process. Let's say to pay for their mortgage, rent, to get a new vehicle if they lost a car in a car accident, or put food on the table, really anything else to pay bills. And we, of course, offer medical funding. So that is surgeries, chiropractor appointments. Anytime person needs medical attention, we provide that. We have a network of attorneys that we work with, and also we work with your preferred doctors. So medical funding is part of it. That's exactly what client stability becomes such a strategic advantage. Medical insight helps us understand treatment trajectory and gaps, surgical probability, and recovery timelines, which inform smarter funding decisions. That alignment ultimately supports both attorney strategy and client stability. And also, in addition to medical funding, we provide post-settlement funding, case financing, and law firm cash flow financing per se.
Do you only deal with the lawyers, or do the clients call and say, I need some money, call my lawyer?
Work both ways. Either attorney refers their client directly to us, and client then texts us or emails us or calls us. Usually calling is the most I guess, most used way, but we're open to whatever way of communication that their clients prefer to work with. Or paralegal, case manager, attorney themselves, reaches out to us with a request, and then sometimes their clients find us online, which is rare, but it happens as well. So if attorney says, well, I have a couple companies I work with, just go online and find somebody. And so if client reaches out to us, we get all the basic information from the client, and then immediately we reach out to the attorney to verify all case information, such as details of the accident, what type of accident, how long did it occur, make sure it fits within the timeline allowed in the particular state, because we work nationwide. We ask for declaration page, policy limits, approximate total of medical bills to have a good idea of what amount of money we have already spent on the case, and if there is any potential space for additional funding. So we are very conservative, and we always work with attorneys in addition to their clients.
Where do you think this legal funding is headed? I mean, what do you think the future holds for legal funding?
Legal funding companies are, I believe, gearing towards greater integration into the plaintiff ecosystem, stronger underwriting standards, and more relationship-driven partnerships with law firms. I believe attorneys will increasingly view funding as part of client care strategy rather than an external service. They will finally, hopefully, realize how impactful legal financiers are in their cases and see us as undeniably missing part of the puzzle in an impactful case outcome. And that's really nationwide.
What's the biggest cause or hesitation of law firms wanting to work with funding companies?
The biggest hesitation. There's a cliche that all funding companies are ripoffs. They take all the money from the client. And that could be true for those companies who are large and they don't oversee day-to-day communication and operations and really don't track what they gave out and what is coming back. So we make sure to track every single penny. And we are very good at, communicating with the law firms of what's in, what's out, the timelines, when or if the case is approaching 2 years, so that attorney knows, what he would potentially own us. And we constantly communicate that with the law firm. So really, we don't want to be that company that ever has that bad name. So we are gearing towards clear communication because we believe that's a key. So if there's a clear communication between the law firm and the staff and the funding company, of course, and the client, there should be no misunderstandings.
So what opportunities do you think exist for firms that proactively incorporate client stability strategies?
Again, when clients feel supported during financial hardship, trust in their attorney increases and anxiety decreases. That emotional stability improves communication, cooperation, and overall client experience. It also helps clients stay engaged in treatment and remain patient with the legal process, which in turn reduces frustration and a lot of times second guessing. And ultimately, when clients feel cared for beyond the legal outcome, loyalty and satisfaction naturally follow. And our goal is to work so closely with the law firm, to, like I said, become extension of a law firm where clients are so happy with their attorney that they bring their family, community, coworkers, church members, everybody to the same attorney. That's our goal.
So if a lawyer wants to talk to you about this, what's the best way they can get up with you, Laura?
Thank you. So you can text me directly on my cell at 404-931-8350. You can send us an email at info@moreinjuryfunding.com, more with 2 O's. You can apply or send your clients to apply through the website or ask questions through the website, which is moreinjuryfunding.com. And of course, we are available on all social media platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, XApp, and all others. So I wonder if I forgot anything, but we respond through all the apps.
Yeah, good deal. So anything that I did not ask you or cover that I should have, or anything you want to say in parting before we close this up.
Sure. So, Ken, actually, I would like to turn the table for a moment and ask you a question. Would that be okay?
Sure.
So, you worked with thousands of plaintiff firms. What's one growth lever you still see underutilized that could significantly change a firm's trajectory?
Marketing to past clients. And you're going to say, that's so simple, Ken. But what I find is when I was practicing, I spent over $2 million on advertising, but I had 3 or 4 or 5 different systems to where I tried to put a fence around my former clients, stay in contact, top of mind awareness, maybe like 4 or 5 different things that I did on a regular basis. And 42% of my cases came from referrals from past clients. So I know it works. A lot of the members at PILMA, I teach them how to do that, and it works. I mean, it's everybody's, I call it before representation, during representation, and after representation. And everybody's spending money, just throwing more money up against the wall before. And then some lawyers, I'd say 60, 70% are still doing pretty good on the client experience. But only about 20%, once they get through with the client, they forget about them. And they know you, they like you, they trust you. I mean, 99% of them do. And the ones that don't. And your best cases come from referrals from other people. So the bigger cases. So to me, that's probably the most underutilized. And as in life, a lot of the things that are simple are overlooked. So yeah, I think so.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I do believe factually the same thing. So usually our tactic is as soon as we serve our attorney's client, the injured person, we visit, my staff visits that law firm really, hopefully same or next day at the latest within a week. We just want to appreciate them, say thank you so much, and of course ask if they have any more clients that we could potentially help. And just probably last thing I would like to add is that client stability isn't just a humanitarian benefit, it's a litigation advantage. When clients are supported, attorneys can operate strategically, and that's where outcomes truly change.
Well, I agree. All right. Until next time, this is Ken Hardison, dedicated to your success.
You have been listening to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, the podcast that leads lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Go to growyourlawfirm.com to find more ways to market and manage your law firm. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts.